been a long day for Mackenzie, and just made a kind of a smart bogey, taking his medicine at 17, not getting overly aggressive, to take that bogey and give himself that opportunity at 18.
Yeah, I tell you, Hughes just stepped up and blasted one nearly 350 off the tee. Good drive at 18. Joaquin Niemann missed the fairway right, missed that dog-legged in the rough. Will?
Dustin Johnson surveying the lie in the bunker. He's done all of his survey work up on the green on this lengthy bunker shot. That, if it was a little bit closer, would be a lot more straightforward, but this is when it's kind of in between. You trying to hit the little chunk and run, or do you try and hit a little bit more of a clipper and land it a little bit farther? He's gone back to the bag. Austin has given him a different wedge. From my vantage point, I can't tell if he went up in loft or down in loft. It looks as if he has gone, Austin's holding that wedge. I think he has gone down in loft. So he's going to try and play something that releases a little bit. Ball is up on the face of the bunker. Left foot above the right foot. DJ digs in, splashes out, lands it about 2/3 of the way there. One hop, now puts on the brakes on the left-hand side, and ends up 5 feet or so past it. Got a little bit of juice on that one to be able to stop it up by the hole. That's a must-make coming up for DJ, and we'll put all the pressure on that putt in 18.
Yes, it will be a must-make for him, and he's been very solid on the short ones, Earl. He has been very good the last 2 weeks. I mean, you can't even remember many that he's missed inside 7 or 8 feet at all.
No, and that would set up a need to make birdie at 18 to tie things up, or Jon Rahm could be the winner today. 4 under after 64, low round of the day, low round of the week, and right now he's the man with the advantage in and in front with DJ 1 back, Matsuyama and Niemann 2 shots behind. And if it stays like this, DJ would be number 1 in FedEx Cup points. Jon Rahm, number 2, projected with the win, so they would be paired up. Remember, Friday is the first round of the Tour Championship. We end on Labor Day on Monday next week, Will.
And DJ would have a 2-shot lead on Friday, but he's staring at a leaderboard right now, and he sees he's 1 back in the tournament that he cares about right now, and that's the BMW Championship. He'll have about a 5-footer for par, but now Hideki Matsuyama trying to birdie his way in 32 feet. And this one has to go to give himself a chance. It's been a heck of a fight all week by Matsuyama to be in the position he's in, tied for 3rd. But just not enough opportunities to make enough birdies. He was starting to go through his routine, backs off. Shota Hayafuji walks in a couple of steps to see if he needs another consultation. Hideki says no. Just going back through the process again. Outside right is the line. It is pretty slow. This is a green that actually works a little bit away from the players to the back right portion of the green where Hideki is standing right now. Spreads the feet, re-grips the putter, hovers it a little bit. He hovers, then goes back down to the ground, hovers back to the ground. Now the takeaway. Through it, outside right, turning left, needs to turn more left. Stretch ball, go, another one short. Oh, yes. Dead in the jar, 3 rolls shy. I count maybe 4 times that has happened today for Hideki Matsuyama. What could have been 2 under par, and his chances of winning this BMW Championship are almost gone.
Yeah, it'd be a miraculous shot to get a hole out there at the 18th hole for him. But, man, I'll tell you what, for a guy that he has just gutted it out from the very opening shot of the tournament, he has really struggled with the T-ball, and to struggle as much as he has, and to be able to get it, to have an opportunity here, well done for Hideki this week.
Let's go up ahead to Fred Albers at 18.
Joaquin Niemann needs to hole it out on 18 to tie Jon Rahm, and I don't think that's an option. 160 out, deep rough. Does a good job, gets it onto the green. That's a great play right there just to get it on the green. But it's going to chase out maybe 60, 70 feet away. So Joaquin Niemann can no longer win this championship, but he is assured going to Atlanta. And remember, the higher up you finish, the more FedEx Cup points, the better your position entering the Tour Championship.
Yeah, he made a great run. He was the guy that kind of got DJ's attention before Jon Rahm did. He played a really solid round of golf today. Looks like he's going to come up a little short, but well done for the 21-year-old Chilean, winning earlier this year, the very first event of the year at the Greenbrier, and really booking in a solid season going into Atlanta.
Yeah, Joaquin broke the bubble. He made his way in on the final weekend, Will.
Dustin Johnson now looking at 5.5 feet for the sandy par here at 17. Austin, his brother, is straddling the line. You'll see players that employ the aim point method to figure out the slope in these greens. Feet, a great tool. If amateur golfers listening haven't figured that out, it may look awkward to straddle your putting line, but as long as you're not standing on somebody else's, it gives you a really good feel to feel the slope of the green with your feet. I didn't have the luxury of going up and looking at it, but I would imagine this putt wants to move a little bit right. That's the visual of it, but the question is, does it? 5.5 footer for DJ. Strokes it outside left, cutting right in the middle. All right, we got a chance at 18. DJ needs a birdie as he heads to the 18th tee at 3 under.
Set up there now, Fred Albers, to you. Get back out to 18 in a moment, where Joaquin Niemann and Mackenzie Hughes are finishing up. And again, Niemann made a great run, took the lead at 1 point today, going to come up a little short, but he will play his way into the top 30 in next week in Atlanta. Mackenzie Hughes trying to cash his spot right now as well, Fred.
Joaquin Niemann needs to hole it out on 18 to tie Jon Rahm, and I don't think that's an option. 160 out, deep rough. Does a good job, gets it onto the green. That's a great play right there just to get it on the green. But it's going to chase out maybe 60, 70 feet away. So Joaquin Niemann can no longer win this championship, but he is assured going to Atlanta. And remember, the higher up you finish, the more FedEx Cup points, the better your position entering the Tour Championship.
Now DJ on the tee, he has got driver, and I expect this to be hammered. Oh, and it started a little right, and it's cutting. He's leaning like this is headed to the right trees. Need to see this ball down, and I do believe he's found the right rough. Oh, a missed fairway for DJ. That's going to be tough with the whole location on that right side coming out of the rough. Going to be very difficult to get that close to the hole.
And at 18 with Joaquin Niemann, Mackenzie Hughes, after a great drive, played in, missed the green, short right bunker. So according to the projections, he needs a par. Short-sided, he's going to have to get up and down to head to the Tour Championship, it looks like, Fred.
Oh, that was just such a tough second shot. Middle of the fairway, 147, and put it in the bunker. He's 4-7 in sand saves this week. Up and down to go to Atlanta. A bogey, and Adam Long gets the plane ticket. Splashes it out. This rolls up. That's a good play. That's a very good play. Going to have 3-4 feet. 3-4 feet away from a Friday tee time at Eastlake for Mackenzie Hughes.
And it's amazing all the things that are afforded to you to be in that 30th spot, Earl. They added the Century Tournament of Champions for a non-winner to be able to get in, along with the major championships and everything else that goes along with being at Eastlake.
Dustin Johnson missed the fairway behind him. We heard that. Hideki Matsuyama, he's perfect. He's in good shape, but he's going to have to hole out to tie things up. Otherwise, Jon Rahm with a spectacular weekend of golf. After opening the tournament with a 75, 66, 64 on the weekend when it was tough to break par, he's about to win this tournament going 10 under par on the weekend, 4 under, and right now the lead by 1.
And, to shoot that opening round 75, you mentioned it's been so long since somebody's done it, shot 75 or higher to win, and that was Calcavecchia on another golf course where the winning score is very, very low in the sense of, or very, very high, depending upon where you want to put it. But, it usually only 8 or 9 under is all it takes, and what a round of golf on the weekend for Jon Rahm.
And there's only 30 spots on seats on the plane to Atlanta for the FedEx Cup as well, Fred.
Well, Joaquin Niemann has played himself off the bubble solidly into the field at the Tour Championship, but every stroke matters. Right now, projects to be 18th. If he would birdie this final hole, he would move into the top 10. That's 2 strokes difference at the start of play on Friday at the Tour Championship. But 59 feet to birdie. Joaquin plays this out on the ridge. That really needs to giddy up. It looks like that's going to come up short. Considerably short. Asking for it to catch the slope and go on, go on, go on. It's not going to happen. Ball still trickling, but that may be 10 feet shy of the cup. Did not lose his turn, Joaquin Niemann.
Wow, that wasn't even close to being the speed that he wanted to have there. And now he's got to worry about giving one back. Still not to lose his opportunity at Eastlake, but those shots that could be, given away or lose them to par starting next week.
Yeah, in his case, looking at projections, even with a bogey, he's 18th projected right now. With a bogey, he would fall to 20. So players 16 to 20 all start at 2 under par, so that's not going to cost him any shots and is not going to cost him his spot. As right now, one of the two into the field next week. If the guy alongside of him, Mackenzie Hughes, makes his par saver coming up. Otherwise, it's Adam Long going.
The whole season comes down to a par putt, basically. It's the nature of golf on the PGA Tour, Earl. A par putt at the last hole, and you get to go to East Lake. But he's going to have some time to wait because Joaquin Niemann's first still to putt.
Still a heck of a day for the kid, the 21-year-old, who's going to be part of the field next week at East Lake. Fred?
Well, the good news, well, I guess I'll start with the bad. He's no longer eligible, no longer can move into 10th place. Needed birdie to do that. But even if he bogeys this hole, he moves from 18th to 20th. That does not affect the stroke handicap at the start of play on Friday. So really, it's not going to affect all that much if he makes or misses out here, makes 4 or 5. But you want to finish with a flourish. Joaquin Niemann, 8 feet, 4 par, on the 18th hole. Joaquin sends it on its way, creeping up and in. Hello, Niemann. You're headed to Atlanta and the Tour Championship.
Golf clap right there. Congratulations. Well done, man. Great playing. You were the guy that got DJ's attention early on this back 9 today. It was John Rahm who ran past, but you were the guy that really got things going on that back 9. He might be the guy that kicked John Rahm's tail going to get him to make those birdies.
Well, and what a year. And it started, last year, back in mid-September. Joaquin Niemann won at the Greenbrier. First player from Chile to win on the PGA Tour. Now his season, nearly a full year later. That was mid-September. We're going to wrap things up first week of September next week. So 51 weeks later, he's headed to the Tour Championship.
Such a great story. Congratulations to him. We're not supposed to root, but you got to root for stuff like that. 21 years old, winner from Chile, probably going to go down as already it's the greatest player to ever come from Chile, which is really, really cool. And now he's got that opportunity to really change his career getting to East Lake.
And now a putt to go to East Lake for Mackenzie Hughes. Otherwise, he won't, Fred.
We're about 10 seconds away from having the field finalized for the Tour Championship. If Mackenzie Hughes makes a 5-footer here for par on the 18th hole, he gets a tee time on Friday. If he misses, it's Adam Long, the American Express champion, who's in the field. Downhill, side hill, Mackenzie Hughes ready to pull the trigger. Back through, ball trickling, tumbling up to the cup, and he made it, and a fist pump. What an ending for Mackenzie Hughes. Oh, look skyward, thanks the almighty, he's going to the Tour Championship.
Wow, that was not really like an adrenaline-filled fist pump. That was like, oh my goodness, thank you very much, Lord Jesus, for that one.
I survived is what it is. I survived. He was reading that putt, and his caddy stood over at one point, just threw his hands in the air like, I don't see anything more. They were trying to find something, and it was not an easy one, right to left breaker, a ticklish one, and he knocks it in. So now we have 2 to go, Will.
That was cool to witness, no doubt. Happy for Mac and his entire team. Hard-working, in fact. His caddy was so engaged in the read that he forgot to rake the front right greenside bunker. So they're celebrating, realizes that there's still some imperfect sand with the final group ready to go. So he has sprinted back in. Now he's sprinting with the bag off because Dustin Johnson's ready to hit in. We still have a championship to decide here in this second playoff event. DJ's ball hit a tree on the right-hand side, catapulted back towards the fairway, but in the heavy rough, but that at least gives him a shot at the green. From 181 yards, needs a putt. Oh, he flights it underneath a limb. This is coming up towards the center of the green. Lands softly there, bounces forward once, twice. Slow down ball. Oh, it's going to not catch the ridge. It's going to end up right where the hole was located yesterday, back and right. And that, my friends, is lightning fast coming down the slope. He might need to leave the flag stick in and hope for a little help because it's going to be outside 35 feet. And I mean, he has to hit it maybe 10 to get it all the way back down the hill.
Yeah, that was such a good shot. I mean, it landed short of the green into such a big hop. I mean, it looked like he landed it right about where he wanted to land the ball, and it just didn't slow down much coming out of that rough, Will.
Now Hideki Matsuyama must hole it from 154 to tie John Rahm in the house. Easier said than done for Hideki. big swing, trying to spin this one over the right bunker. This is on an aggressive line underneath the cup, but it hits off the right-hand side. That should have gotten into the second bunker down the right-hand side. So the only thing standing between Jon Rahm and a BMW Championship trophy is one Dustin Johnson putt.
And that is going to be a very tough one. Looking at it, nobody has made a putt from back in there. There's been a solo 3-putt. So it's going to take something special to continue to play golf this evening.
Rahm is in, posted with the round of the week is 64. Spectacular Sunday finish for Rahm. Will it be enough? We're about to find out. He's in front by 1, 4 under. DJ with a long birdie putt to tie it as we continue our coverage from suburban Chicago, the penultimate event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. You're listening to PGA Tour radio coverage of the final round of the BMW Championship. Dustin Johnson, who led early in the day after a brilliant start of his own, 3 birdies in his first 4. If he birdies 18, we're headed to a playoff. Rahm is hitting some practice shots right now over on the practice tee to get ready just in case. But it's a long putt, Will Haskett. It's a ticklish putt outside 40 feet. DJ's going to need a mini miracle to knock it in for birdie to tie it up.
It's 43 feet, as you mentioned, Earl. It is very quick down the slope. It's hard to believe that Dustin Johnson, even with a 2-putt here, is going to post 3 rounds in the 60s this week, with his worst round being 71 and not win, given what this golf course provided each of the first 3 days. But Dennis Paulson, we've seen some heroic moments out of Dustin Johnson and everybody's careers on the PGA Tour when it comes to these winning moments. But, we know what the percentages are on long putts. PGA Tour players outside of 40 feet are making these putts at a 2% clip during the course of the year, and I don't think they factor this one into the equation. This has got a little bit of everything down the slope.
Yeah, I agree with you, but if they can get the read right, it's only a putt. Think about it. I think putts are related more on how hard you hit them. If you get them on the right line, if I'm only hitting a putt 2 feet, I should be able to keep that pretty close to my line in the speed. If I've got to hit it 50 feet worth of speed, there's a lot more going on. I'm not exactly sure if that little ridge that he has right there, Will, is a little back up before it goes down, where he's got to hit it a little bit to crest the top of the hill. But is he hitting this thing anything more than, say, a level 10 or 15 footer here?
The peak of the slope that sends it down the hill is almost halfway in the journey, so call it 21 feet away. And you're right, it will come slightly up before it gets to the top of and crests that hill. So he has to hit a putt that has about 15 feet worth of pace. So I completely understand what you're talking about, Dennis, and that he's hitting a 15-foot putt to a spot, and then you're hoping that the spot that you picked is then the trickle-down point to go down the slope. His brother Austin had taken the flagstick out as they surveyed and looked at the slope, and they have certainly put it back in. Now they have a little bit of a laugh as they continue to try and agree on what that spot is going to be coming back down. DJ now looking at that spot, going through it, but Austin's going to come from behind and double check with them, and I think they have agreed on the spot. So here we go. A putt to force a playoff. If not, Jon Rahm has his first FedEx Cup playoff win. DJ had just gotten into it and now walks about 5 feet over to the left just to gauge the slope of this 15 feet to get to the top of that ridge. Again, 43 feet to 3 inches. This for a round of 67 and to tie the lead at -4. Very gentle practice stroke. Again, does not need to hit this putt very hard. DJ strokes the putt to the top of that ridge, hitting his spot. Now to the downslope, it'll pick up pace. Working down the ridge, cutting back towards the cup. Nice line to the hole. He hit the flagstick, and he went down. Get out of here. 43-foot bomb at the last. We will have more golf on a Sunday in Chicago.
Are you kidding me? My goodness, that putt looked good. As soon as it crests the hill, it was so fun to watch DJ walk over because it was sideways kind of, and just watch it from there. What a great putt for Dustin Johnson at the 18th. Wow.
He knew he had hit his spot. That was the thing. You get it to the spot at the top of the hill and then let nature take its course. I thought it was the wrong line. I thought it was diving right. It had that late turn left, and it hit right in the center of the flag. And Jon Rahm heard the roar. He knows what happened. He was over on the practice tee, and It's a good thing he was warming up because he's about to hit some more golf shots for real as we are going to sudden death. Didn't see that one going down, Dennis. That's crazy.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it coming either, Earl. There was no way. I didn't think he was going to go in, but I knew that it was only a putt that he had to just feed to a place. You know what I mean? And those are the ones where you don't have to hit it and you're a little nervous. It's easier to feed a putt than it is to hit a putt.
Matsuyama's 6-footer ticklish putt for him, and he knocks it in, and that's for 2 under and a closing 69 for Matsuyama. So a good week for him. A tie for third, just not enough to win south of Chicago. And not enough over 72 holes for either Jon Rahm or Dustin Johnson. We are going to a playoff because of what DJ just did at 18 a moment ago.
This for a round of 67, and to tie the lead at -4. Strokes the putt to the top of that ridge, hitting his spot. Now to the downslope, it'll pick up pace. Working down the ridge, cutting back towards the cup. Nice line to the hole. He hit the flag stick, and he went down. Get out of here. 43-foot bomb at the last. We will have more golf on a Sunday in Chicago.
2 and 4. We're going to play some more. Jon Rahm, Dustin Johnson, a playoff when we return to our coverage south of Chicago, Olympia Fields in the BMW Championship. Two of the top players in the game are about to head to a playoff to decide the BMW Championship at Olympia Fields. Earl Forsey with Dennis Paulson and our PGA Tour radio team. Dustin Johnson just pulled one out of his hat, a rabbit out of the hat, as he knocked in a nearly impossible 40-plus footer, a snaking putt, downhill putt at 18 to stun Jon Rahm, who was on the practice tee, but thinking he was in pretty good shape in at 4 under par. DJ just made the long birdie to tie it up, so we're going to a sudden death playoff to decide the second event of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and this is two of the best players in the game. Dennis Paulson, this should be fun. Dustin Johnson, who just got back to #1 in the world, and the FedEx Cup points leader, and the guy who was recently there, Jon Rahm, they're in carts, and they're going to head back to the tee, and they're going to start this sudden death playoff in a few minutes.
Yeah, 18, 10, 11, 18 is the loop that they'll play if they continue to play more holes, but the putt that DJ made, that was pretty special. And Rahm was actually just about ready to pull the trigger on the range. And he heard enough noise, which you don't hear. That's the weird thing when you're out on property and you're out on the golf course. It's so quiet out there, you really don't hear things. And when you do hear a cheer, it's kind of strange because you just don't hear those kind of things right now since the pandemic, and we haven't allowed gallery out on the properties.
I mean, you just can't help yourself, and it's a staff, it's some close family members
Right.
now allowed in recent weeks to attend these events. Still very few people, but man, what a salvo. That was just kind of out of nowhere, a putt. I don't know if he hits that another, if he hits it 100 times, is it going to go in again? It'd be tough, but he hit it the only time that mattered. He got it to go, and those two are headed back to the tee. Rahm and Dustin Johnson to head to a playoff to decide the second event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Joaquin Niemann, 21 years old, had the lead at one point today. Got his first PGA Tour win at the Greenbrier to start the season, but with his finish today tied for third, it's not going to be another win, but he's going to the Tour Championship, the season finale next week in Atlanta, standing by with Fred Albers.
Joaquin, what a thrill you gave us. What a run, just coming up a little bit short. Tell me about your day.
Yes, good day. I know that I needed to play well. I got DJ right there. He was playing pretty good. Jon Rahm up in the leaderboard. So yeah, I just proved myself that I gave myself a chance. So I'm just happy with that, and hopefully we can get it next time.
I don't want to go negative on you, but I really thought you were going to make that birdie at 15. You got a break off the drive, hit a gutsy second shot, I thought, and a superb third shot. I thought it was just straight up the hill, 4.5 feet.
Yeah, no, I got unlucky on 14. I hit a perfect shot right in the middle of the fairway, and that in a D-bot. And then on 15, I hit a bad shot and hit a good break and was in the middle of the fairway. And yeah, I hit a really good putter. It wasn't enough break. I just misread it, but yeah, it is what it is.
Well, you played yourself from outside the bubble, inside the bubble. I think you're 18th to start the Tour Championship. Just a great year for you, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And a great run for Joaquin Niemann, who plays his way in, one of only 2 players to make it in the top 30 with Mackenzie Hughes.
You pick the card, and we'll go on the number that you play.
Right, well, it's the BMW Championship, so instead of drawing numbers, they draw cars, mini cars, BMWs, with numbers on the back. John Rahm picked the one on the right, and it's got number 1 on it. That was cool. I like that. Toy cars with the doors open, and we're about to decide the BMW Championship. So we go to the tee here, Dennis, for a sudden death playoff. But if John Rahm had not picked up his ball at the 5th yesterday, he would be... That was his only bogey of the weekend. Just a misguided, just didn't think for a second. Penalty shot bogey. And now he's got work to do against DJ. Tom Wormy.
Driver off the tee at the 18th for John Rahm. It plays 498 today. First time around today, maybe 30 to 45 minutes ago, he hit it 366. Rahm takes a lash at it. It's moving to the right. It hits the right edge of the fairway and bounds into the primary rough. A couple of steps off the fairway, but John Rahm has missed the fairway off to the right, off the tee in the first playoff hole.
Yeah, it's disappointing. You got wind out of the left. You got trees overhanging there with the hole location on the right. You just can't afford to miss there and get anywhere near the hole.
Well, Dustin Johnson was over there. He made the miracle birdie. So now all of a sudden on the tee, he's got the advantage, Will.
Wind out of the left, takes it over the tree line left, asking for it to cut back. It's hanging on that left line. Will it carry enough down that left-hand side? It clips a tree, kicks it straight right back into the fairway. Well, it cost him about 30 or 40 yards, but he will gladly give it up to have the clean lie in the fairway. Ball will be above his feet, but he clipped probably the last tree on his path down the left-hand side and ricocheted some 40 yards backwards to the right. That is in the short stuff. Fairway for Dustin Johnson. He will hit first into the green at 18. He's some 50 yards behind where John Rahm is.
Yeah, he's well behind him, but he is in the fairway, and that's going to give him that opportunity to at least, and he's also got a little bit of an angle. He would have had an angle over there on the left-hand side in the rough, but no telling what kind of a shot he would have been able to play from there. Now he can play pretty much a stock shot. If the number's right, he's got definitely the advantage and a green light, even though he's farther back.
A few minutes before DJ rolled in his birdie bomb at 18, Mackenzie Hughes rolled in a shorter putt, but it was a knee knocker for him for a par to make it to Atlanta. He advances in the FedEx Cup playoffs as well, and he spoke to Fred Albers.
Well, Mackenzie, you're a PGA Tour winner in the past. You were up and down, on and off the bubble all day long. Did that feel like you were trying to win a tournament today to get inside the bubble and get a tee time in Atlanta on Friday as far as pressure-wise?
Yeah, certainly the pressure was huge all day, knowing what was at stake. And, it's kind of like you're trying to win the golf tournament, and at the same time, there was a point in the back nine where I kind of thought with like 4 or 5 holes to go, I was on the outside looking in for the tournament, and I was like, the second goal was to make a D-slick here, and I didn't have much breathing room down the stretch, so it was really tense and nervous moments for sure. I can assure you I was very nervous and very aware of what I needed to do, but somehow managed to get it done.
Well, tell me about the bunker shot on your 72nd hole and then the 5-foot putt.
Yeah, so the bunker shot, I kind of got caught in between. I was trying to go a little bit further into the hill and have it kind of roll back, and didn't quite hit it hard enough. And actually ended up in a pretty nice spot, but I would have loved it had been a little closer. And the putt was so difficult because it was so fast and it broke about a cup right to left. And I knew if I had a pretty good line on it. I said if I can just get it rolling, make a nice smooth stroke, hit it solid, I like my chances. And to see it going was just a fantastic feeling.
You have to be so happy, so relieved, so tired. You'll sleep well tonight. Thanks for so much entertainment. And as long as you're in the Tour Championship, go ahead and play well.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go play well. And getting the Tour Championship changes his schedule much more than it would have if he wasn't in the tournaments to play.
You have to make plans for early January at Kapalua because this year, 1 year only change with some of these events canceled, the PGA Tour is allowing spots in the Century Tournament of Champions. There's a one-year rules change for everybody in the top 30 in FedEx Cup points at the end of the season to get to the Century Tournament of Champions, whether you win a tournament this year or not. So Mackenzie Hughes is one of those players going to be part of the field, the elite field at Kapalua.
Yeah, it's really special that he's got that opportunity. And let's get back out to the 18th hole. Will, you're there.
Hanging lie above his feet, Dustin Johnson 182 to that same front right hole location, leaning as if this one's maybe just tugged to the left off of that slope. It is, but it lands hole high left, safely onto the green, and that will stay on the proper level of the green as well. It's outside of 30 feet, but a birdie look for Dustin Johnson here on the first playoff hole.
Yeah, it's going to have that little bit of a, kind of got to use that same ridge, but he's hole high. That hole location's in a little bit of a cuppiness, and it's not going to be as severe, but he will have that opportunity. And now, Tom, the lie's actually halfway decent for Jon Rahm. You can see quite a bit of the back half of that ball.
Dennis, 162 is the number from the right-hand rough, down breeze, hole location front right. There's a bit of a ridge behind the hole he may be able to utilize as well if he takes an aggressive line. From 162, the approach, the 18th for Jon Rahm, and this one hits the left side of the green. That's going to go long and left. The green does pitch dramatically from back to front, but that one's going to come back a little bit. It's in the back left corner. It's coming back towards the front of the green, and now it's going to stop beyond the hole off to the left. But that's outside of 50 feet, maybe 50 to 60 feet away, downhill to that front right hole location. It will test all of Jon Rahm's skill.
That is going to be really, really difficult right there. I mean, I can't tell you how hard that's going to be. In regulation, with the balls that were back there today, there's been no one that's made that putt. There's been a three-putt, but not in that general area. No one's really three-putted in that general area. They've been all pars. There's been three players in that back general area, in the back left portion of the green. That's going to be very difficult to try to figure out.
Yeah, so two long birdie putts coming up for both Rahm and Dustin Johnson in the first hole of sudden death in 60 seconds.
Hey parents, need help home? Through golf. In partnership with the First Tee, the Tour has developed an at-home curriculum that incorporates lessons in reading, writing, STEM, history, art, and fitness. To learn more and view lesson plans, visit...
This is outside 60 feet, back left edge of the green at 18 as they play the first hole of sudden death, Jon Rahm and Dustin Johnson in a playoff to decide the BMW Championship. What this playoff will also decide is the top of the FedEx Cup standings heading into the Tour Championship. Dustin Johnson is going to be number one either way. He's going to start at 10 under par with a one-shot lead. If Jon Rahm wins his playoff, he's going to vault to second in FedEx Cup points and start next week at -8, 2 shots back. If Jon Rahm does not win the playoff, then Justin Thomas is going to be second at 8 under par to start next week, and Rahm is going to be third, 7 under, and 3 shots off the lead.
So there's still a lot right here riding on this playoff here, but this is a really tough putt. Big swinger from left to right. And Tom, if he gets this within, a 3 to 5 foot circle, that'd be really good from here, wouldn't it?
Oh, I think Dennis, he wants to get it beyond the hole if it doesn't go in, so he's got somewhat of an uphill putt coming back. But this is 66 feet, about 3/4 of the length of the putt. That's that shoulder that's going to influence it to the right. So he's got to play it out to the left, as you mentioned, significantly, and let it filter down to the right. Jon Rahm for birdie at the 18th in the playoff. He'll send this one out to the left. Now it hits the ridge, starts to roll down towards the hole, needs to slow down, breaking off to the right, trying to come back to the left. It's in! Jon Rahm makes it from 66 feet away as it broke to the right, hit the stick, and went down. Birdie on the 18th in the playoff for Jon Rahm.
Did we just see that, Earl? Did that actually just happen? No way. No way do we see what we just saw.
Dennis, I stood up 8 feet away because that was in. Once it made the turn down the hill, that ball, like Dustin Johnson's, look at this thing. We're seeing the replay from 8 feet out on in. It tracked right to the center of the flagstick and down for Jon Rahm with a flair for the dramatic, jumping up and down and a fist bump. But, we've seen this before. Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa this year in a playoff, so DJ is going to have the chance to answer and keep the playoff going.
Oh, my goodness. That putt was moving just like DJ's was. I mean, it wasn't going to be within 6 feet of the hole, and they just hit the flag sticks dead center. Now DJ needs to regroup a little bit. You always expect the guy to make, but I don't think that was one that you thought he was going to make, because that was much more dramatic. That ball had to go sideways. He only played about 6 or 7 feet of break. You know, that one, he played probably closer to 20 feet of break there, Rahm's putt.
Again, two of the best in the game right now going toe-to-toe. And this may be the appetizer for next week. If DJ does not make and Jon Rahm wins this tournament, his first FedEx Cup playoff win and the second win this season, these two are going to be going toe-to-toe in the final group next Friday for the first round 1-2 and FedEx Cup points to start the week at East Lake and the Tour Championship.
Yeah, if this doesn't go down, we get the same pairing on Thursday. Yeah. They will be playing together in that final group on Thursday.
Let's go to Will.
Well, shades of Jon Rahm's first win at Torrey Pines. Now Dustin Johnson, who's made 2 big bombs at 18 so far this week, needs 33 feet to extend the playoff. Cutting putt is on its way down the hill, outside left. It's gathering pace. It's not going to go fast enough. It needs to hurry up and creep. It's still stretching, trying to get all the way there to the right side, and it misses. And with that, on the first playoff hole, Jon Rahm wins the 2020 BMW Championship, a weekend to remember, 1,500 FedEx Cup points, and a little something to think about as he heads to Atlanta in search of the FedEx Cup.
Could we ask for any more drama for the semifinals, as we like to call it, going into East Lake? That's about as good as you could ask for right there, Earl. That was a fun afternoon to get to be a part of.
Well, Dustin Johnson, last week a winner, this week almost came up just a bit short. He's standing by with Will Haskett.
Dustin, what incredible drama. I mean, what can you do? You make the putt to get into it and then see what happens. Just walk me through the emotion of the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I got a little out of position off the tee there on the first, on my 72nd hole, but, hit a really nice shot and then obviously made a ridiculous putt. And then, in the first playoff, obviously, John, he pulled a really long, difficult putt. So I gave it a good effort, but it was obviously he played really well over the weekend.
But what your game has done the last couple of weeks, to the scoring fest last week, how it held up this week, the charge that you made today, I know you're with supreme confidence heading to Atlanta for that first FedEx Cup.
Yeah, obviously the game's in really good form. I got a lot of confidence in it. Everything, feels really good right now. So, I'm really looking forward to next week.
I wonder who picked the spot. You or Austin on that first putt, because it looked like you were going back and forth on which spot it was going to be.
I did, but I just played a little less break than he had. But obviously we read it really nicely, and it was nice to get into the playoff.
Good theater. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
Actually, very well said there, Will. Good theater, and that's what it is. That's what golf's all about. It's a story to be told, and we don't know what the final chapter is going to be. And that was one heck of a final chapter. That was written for a movie right there, that finish.
I mean, it's just been like this since the return to golf tennis. There's been a lot of great golf, a lot of drama, great scoring last week. And this week, even the first 3 days without a lot of birdies, still a lot of drama. And then today things opened up. And we saw the great round by Jon Rahm, the 64 today. It looked like win the tournament. DJ stole it away from him. And that final putt he made on 18, the 72nd hole, then Rahm did it, returned the favor on the first hole of sudden death. And we're not done yet. We still have 1 week to go with the PGA Tour season wrapping up and the FedEx Cup playoff finale next week at East Lake.
We do, and I think we need that extra day just to come down from what we had here with it not starting until Friday. But, you look at it, and I got to say that Jon Rahm is the deserving champion. To shoot 10 under par on this golf course on the weekend, you earned it, buddy. You really did earn it. That was really good. DJ playing as good a golf as anybody, shoots 69, 67, and if you told him on Friday night, if you shoot that on the weekend, you think you're going to win, I bet you he would have thought full-heartedly that there's no chance anybody's going to beat me.
He would have felt pretty good about it. There's no doubt. And, today, it just, the runs were out there, the birdies were out there. And it looked like, even we started the day talking that someone could shoot 4 or 5 under. Well, it took 6 under for Jon Rahm. And what was a crazy weekend for him with 64, and to close things out today, the 66 that he shot in the third round. And then all that mixed around, the hiccup and the mistake that he made at 5 yesterday at a bogey because he picked up his ball from the green, and then to cap it off the way he did. Wow. Jon Rahm standing by with Tom Wormy.
Earl, we're standing by with the champ 2020 BMW Championship, Jon Rahm. John, give us your perspective as that ball leaves the blade from 66 feet away here on the green in that first playoff hole.
I'm not going to lie. I was just hoping I could leave it somewhere, up the hill, maybe 5-6 feet up the hill to maybe extend the playoff. Extremely difficult putt, but it's one of those where, you're not really hitting it 66 feet. I'm maybe hitting it 30, so kind of divided like that. Just try to focus on the moment and what I had to do. I knew even though I'm nervous, DJ still has a chance. I just had to enjoy what I was going through. I had a lot of fun out there the last 2 days, and this hole was not going to be any different. And even though DJ got the fortune of the tee, again, I was not going to let that define what I was going to do afterwards. So gave myself a putt, and luckily I ended up making a similar putt, maybe a little longer than what DJ made about 30 minutes ago.
Based on how hard this course played for the entire weekend, how good was your play today and specifically for the entire weekend after a 75 in the first round for you?
Yeah, the 75, I was just feeling a little bit uncomfortable of the tee, missing fairways, and it's hard to get it going on this course when you're missing fairways. I kind of figured it out. And on Friday, I started striping a little bit more, went to the range afterwards and felt better, more like I did towards the weekend in Boston. And that's how I played the last 2 days. Today, I believe I hit 18 out of 19 greens. And this is only the third fairway I missed today. And I've been hitting driver pretty much everywhere. So, just a lot of confidence, stayed aggressive, and it paid off.
You said that word confidence. Now you take it to the Tour Championship.
Well, we still have some time off right now. We got a bit of an extra day. Next week it's all or nothing. So let's hope I can just play as good as I did the last 2 days and give myself a chance again.
John, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's all you can ask for. Just give myself that opportunity to have that chance again on Monday with a Monday finish on Labor Day. It's going to be a great opportunity. What a great season to this point, the Tour Championship, when you consider everything that's gone down, Earl, from the beginning of the season when we had Joaquin Niemann win the very first event on the PGA Tour, to the pandemic, the break, and all the good golf that we've seen, and 2 really tough tournaments with Memorial. Jon Rahm won that one too. You got to look at the 2 hardest golf courses to play towards the end of the year, and he won on both properties. And next week is not going to be an easy golf course, no chance.
Well, and it shakes out the top 10 heading to Atlanta for the Tour Championship. Dustin Johnson, these great couple of weeks, is going to be number 1 in FedEx Cup points and have the 2-point lead at 10 under par. Dustin Johnson 1, Jon Rahm 2nd with the win today. Justin Thomas 3rd, Webb Simpson 4, Colin Morikawa 5, Daniel Berger 6, Harris English 7, Bryson DeChambeau 8, Sungjae Im number 9, Hideki Matsuyama with his weekend. He is going to round out the top 10. 2 players make it in, Joaquin Niemann and Mackenzie Hughes. And at the end of the day, Billy Horschel, a former FedEx Cup champ, gets the last spot, number 30, by 3 points over Adam Long for the last spot in Atlanta.
And it might have been because of Corey Connors' 3-putt on the last hole might have given him enough points to get that done. And a shout out to Tony Finau. He played great. Shot a closing 65 today to finish 5th alone, and that moved him to 20th. So that's helped him a little bit with the points as he had moved forward going into East Lake.
Wow, what a couple of weeks, and still 1 more to go. We are down to 30 players now that will tee it up Friday at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta next week. Chance to win the FedEx Cup at the Tour Championship. Our broadcast team is proud to don quality products from the following valued partners of PGA Tour Radio: apparel by Cutter & Buck and PGA Tour Apparel, hats from Imperial Headwear, umbrellas provided by Gustbuster, and outerwear from FootJoy. If you didn't have access to a television or simulcast, you can still catch a re-air of today's final round broadcast tonight at 8 p.m. and 1 a.m. Eastern, and again tomorrow 1 p.m. in the East on Golf. You can catch a re-air of our broadcast tonight 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio. Coordinating producer of the play-by-play coverage is Alan Trexler. The producer is Kelly Clemens. Our associate producer is Valerie Seward. The engineer is Joe Gregory. The executive producer of multimedia programming and satellite radio for the PGA Tour is Dave Loeb. For Dennis Paulson, Fred Albers, Will Haskett, and Tom Wormy, I'm Earl Forsey. What a way to finish up south of Chicago with a dramatic walk-off win for Jon Rahm to capture his first ever FedEx Cup playoff victory.
66 feet. Jon Rahm for birdie at the 18th in the playoff. He'll send this one out to the left. Now it hits the ridge, starts to roll down towards the hole, needs to slow down, breaking off to the right, trying to come back to the left. It's in! Jon Rahm makes it from 66 feet away as it broke to the right, hit the stick, and went down. Birdie on the 18th in the playoff for Jon Rahm.
This broadcast and all associated rights, including copyright, are owned exclusively by the PGA Tour and may not be used in whole or in part without the prior written permission of the PGA Tour.
Have you dreamt about going to the Players Championship and seeing
와, 연장 첫 번째 홀에서 존 람이 무려 19m가 넘는 내리막 버디 퍼트를 넣으면서 더스틴 잔슨을 이기고 처음으로 페덱스컵 플레이오프 대회에서 이겼습니다. 대단한 선수네요. 근데 사실 이 연장전도 더스틴 잔슨이 마지막 홀에서 또 맹 내리막인 거의 43피트, 그러니까 13m 내리막 버디를 넣으면서 연장에 들어갔거든요. 아이고, 오늘 아주 명승부였습니다. 근데 우리의 안병훈은 그 한타를 더 줄이지 못해서 다음 주에 투어 선수권에 나갈 수 있는 기회를 놓쳤습니다. 너무 아깝네요. 특히 그 안병훈은 파4 17번 홀에서 보기를 하면서 결국 무너졌습니다. 플레이오프에 들어오면서 잘 하였던 김시우가 이번 BMW 선수권에 나오지 못한 것도 굉장히 아쉽고요.